My friend, we are back with a new Sidereal Astrology Forecast for the week of April 15th through the 21st. Hello, 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 my friend. I am so blessed and honored to be here with you today to share this week's Sidereal astrology forecast. If you are new here, hello, my friend. I am Danny C. Muniz, spiritual healer, intuitive astrologer, helping you understand and embody your cosmic soul blueprint so that you can fulfill your dang mission, my friend. We are all here. We've got a purpose, we've got a mission, we've got a vision. I'm here to help you embody you so that you can fulfill that. My friend, I feel so good to be back here with you. I took a little bit of time off, let's just say, with the solar eclipse last week on the 8th, went camping, had a fabulous time, reconnected with Mother Nature, and feeling really good. And so I'm excited to be back to share with you what is going on in our sky this week, because my friend, our sun has moved out of Pisces. It is the zodiacal new year. Happy New Year, my friend. Aries season is here. We kicked off Aries season on the 14th. And so I can't wait to tell you all about this new beginning and what that is bringing in for us, as well as what else is happening in our sky, because we've got some things happening that you're probably already seeing happening in our world. So let's go ahead and dive in. And as I do that, my friend, I'm going to tell you, if you have not already, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. If you are into astrology, if you're into growth, spiritual development, my friend, this is the channel for you. And also, if you're somebody that's like, ooh, I want to just listen to this, maybe you're more of an audio person, maybe you're driving, maybe you're doing the dishes, or maybe you're walking the dog. I know those are all things that I do while I listen to podcasts, and I'm sure you do too. If you just want to listen to this forecast, we have the Cosmic Mystic podcast on all of your platforms: Spotify, Amazon, Google, Apple. It's all over there. So go check it out over there, the Cosmic Mystic podcast, and make sure you follow it so that you can get the latest and greatest episodes. Okay, let's dive in, my friend. As always, we always want to check in and see where is our sun. And as I said, our sun has moved into the zodiac sign of Aries. So we are at 1 degrees Aries. It's actually right here, even though it looks like it's way down here. You can see this little line here. It's showing it's right here at 1 degrees Aries, right here on the 15th at 8 a.m. Central Time. And so let's talk really quick about Aries energy, because we've just been through our water energy season of Pisces, which was all about bringing things to an end, wrapping things up, nice little bow. We had our new moon in Pisces, which was the solar eclipse. And so it was like this, right? I talked about this, and you can listen to the last forecast. And I also talked about it in the overview, the April overview, where this eclipse was like this portal, that this new timeline, right, that we're stepping into. And this Pisces season was bringing that all to a close, like bringing this chapter to a close and starting new, right? And that's what Aries season is. Aries is the first, right? It's the first of the zodiac. It's often called the baby of the zodiac. And so its energy is like, if you think of a baby, my friend, if you have kids, if you've been around kids, you know, right? Like they just go. they don't think, They don't worry, they don't doubt, they have no concern. They just go, right? And sometimes they go and it maybe isn't the best thing to do, right? We don't want to get too close to that water. We don't want to touch the stove. We don't want to touch the candle, right? They want to go because they're so curious and they want to explore their world, but it's very animalistic, right? They just want to go. It's that intrinsic idea within us that we just want to go, right? And that is Aries. It's very initiative, it's the beginning, it's the start of something. So, a couple of things that we can use this energy for, and that is to get things started. And I want to be really clear here, my friend. Get things started. Not see things through the long haul, not being able to have all this like determination and drive to complete it. No, 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 no. Aries is all about starting the thing. Now, for me, I have realized, and this is why I follow astrology. This is why I look at transits. This is why I do this podcast and YouTube channel all about sidereal astrology. This is why I work with my clients with astrology. And I've got some really cool things coming out this year about working in astrology. And the reason is because there are certain seasons that we all have, not just our collective season, right? Like collectively, we were all moving into Aries, but each one of us individually has a specific Aries energy. And that energy dictates a lot of how this season we might navigate it. Okay. And so isn't that good to know? Like, oh, I might be more interested in this time of year than this, right? For me, there was a lot of energy around money last month because Pisces rules my second house. There was a lot of energy around my value and what I bring to the table and how do I share that, right? There's a lot of deep insight for me around that. And now moving into Aries season, it's my third house, which is all about communication. It's all about sharing information. My friend, I am pumped to post on social media. I literally planned out my social media calendar for the month yesterday. I planned out the podcast episodes for the next 3 months. Like, I am in this energy of like, I want to share, I want to share, I want to share, because that is where my Aries energy is. It's in that, right? Now, the other thing I've noticed for me personally, which is why I love to follow this, is that during fire energy seasons, for me, I tend to want a lighter diet than other seasons. Water seasons, it's usually heavier because there's a lot of emotion. So there's that emotional baggage and emotional connection to food for me, right? But Aries or any of the fires, so Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, I tend to want to eat lighter. And it just so happens that this weekend, I was thinking about this morning, and I'm like, just this weekend, we went grocery shopping and bought all fruits and veggies. We made juice. I have a bunch of salads. I chopped up vegetables, and it was like I have a full week, and so I'm not going to have a lot of time to kind of prep some stuff. And so I just did all that this weekend, right? I did that so that I could have those things to go to. Now, interesting though that it's fire season and I'm wanting a lighter diet. This is why I love looking at like, ooh, what do I fill into during this season? It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be the same. You might be like, ooh, no, I want some more rooted vegetables because this energy is too action oriented for me and I need to calm myself down. Right? This is why we look at astrology and why I love it. So, we've got this impulsive energy, we've got this initiative energy, we've got this warrior, battle, fight type energy. And this is all in the consciousness, my friend. This is all in our consciousness. So the ideas of like, let's start something, let's begin something, you're probably feeling that. That's great because that's what the energy is. Like I said, it's not the energy that's going to push you through for the next year, for the next 6 months. It is only going it is only going to get us started. So, what are you starting? What are you wanting to start? And what can you put in place to help you get going? If you want to change your diet, if you want to start exercising more, if you want to start that new morning routine or evening routine or new hobby, whatever it might be, my friend, this is the time to do it. Now, I want to talk a little bit about some of the energy that we still have. As you can see here, we still have this square to Pluto. And or I'm sorry, we are starting. I've been looking at this for a while. So we are actually was just looking at our May forecast, getting my notes ready for the May forecast. So we are actually not, we are just beginning this square, Sun square Pluto. And so let me tell you a little bit about what this is, because this adds to this energy, because Pluto is very, very, very powerful. So we're going to see more energy, more strength, more motivation to work hard. Okay. There could be some eliminating of habits, destructive relationships, destructive patterns, things that are not serving you, right? Like, let's clear those up. Let's remove those from our field. And there could be some ego challenges, conflicts, power struggles kind of coming in, because Aries and Pluto are very dynamic energy. So Aries as this warrior mentality, we often see them, like I said, the baby just going, right? Like I always use the example of like little kids, right? Like 7, 8, maybe even a little bit younger. They go to a pool party. The Aries kid is the kid that gets there and just like runs and jumps in the pool, doesn't care about saying hi to everybody, doesn't almost doesn't even care about taking off like its shirt or shoes. It just wants to go, right? It's like jump in the pool. It doesn't care about the toys yet. It just wants to jump into the pool. And not even paying attention if there's water. Sometimes it just wants to go. And so because of this, like there's this like I'm gonna be the first. I'm gonna do it type energy. And Pluto being very powerful, and there's a little bit of this battle. And so, my friend, look out for ego conflicts. And ego conflicts are simply awareness for us, right? They're simply an opportunity for us to be like, ooh, my ego wants to step in there. Why am I wanting to do that? Why am I wanting to engage in this conversation, engage in this battle, right? Because that's often what happens with this Pluto and Aries energy. It's like wanting to battle. I can see it in my love. He is somebody who loves to debate. And so just, the other day we were having a debate, and it's like I could see his ego, right? And I could see my ego like wanting to come out. And at one point I was like, oh, okay. All right. I got triggered there. Good to know. Right. And that's good awareness for me of like, why did I get triggered? What is it that's not, what do I feel in this? Like, do I feel a certain way? Why do I feel this? Right. And how can, right. And I even told him, I was like, hey, ego much? Like, and like brought that to his attention as well. Did he like that? Probably not, right? Probably not, but it was awareness for both of us. So pay attention to those ego conflicts. Now, a couple of other things I want to mention here that we have going on this week is we still have, let's talk about Mars, because we're talking about the Aries energy, and Mars rules Aries. So this energy is, they're very they work together, right? Wherever Mars is it's in Aquarius right now. So doing things our own way, doing things differently, really freedom, rebellion has been really, really huge. And I'm seeing it with my clients, especially with this Uranus Jupiter conjunction, the solar eclipse, all of this collective energy of people just wanting to break out of things that aren't serving them anymore. And it's like, I'm ready for something new. I'm ready to free myself, right? Because whatever this is has felt kind of like a burden. And so we've got this, first off, we've got the Mars and Saturn conjunction, and we've had this since the beginning of the month. So right, we've had some of that fit like hard work, you know, we're wanting to go to war. We're wanting to, and if you're watching the news, I don't, but I've heard from social media, like my friend, right? Destructive actions or behaviors can definitely come. There's a lot of anger, resentfulness, revengefulness coming through with this energy. And it's interesting that this happened just as the sun moved into Aries. Or is it interesting? So there's another thing that I want to point out here, because we have this Saturn Mars conjunction, right? And we're going to have this for just a little through this week, pretty much. But we've got this sextile over here to Jupiter and Uranus. Now, with Jupiter, we've got this expansion. We've got this sustainable growth, very strong energy. So this can be looked at in a couple of different ways, right? Where it's like, oh, I've got this courage, I've got this strength, I've got this very expansive energy, optimism that I can take on the world. Love it. But then we've also got this energy of that I am expansive, I am strong, and I can take on the world. Do you see my meaning here? This can also put us in a place where we're like, I'm just gonna do it. And if we need that, great. If we're doing it from a misaligned place where our thoughts, our feelings, and our nervous system, right, is not regulated, is not in alignment. So I'm currently working on becoming a somatic breathwork practitioner, and I'm super excited about that. So look out for some of that coming this year. And one of the things, right, is regulating that nervous system, balancing that nervous system, aligning, right, and releasing whatever the nervous system needs to release. And so it's this idea here, like we've got to be in alignment, my friend. If we are not in alignment, we can easily get swayed and triggered. And not to say that we're not going to, not to say clearly I can get triggered just as much as anybody else, but it's being able to bring myself back, noticing where I am misaligned. And that's like some of this energy that I want to caution you with as we move through this week, especially with our sun now moving into Aries. This energy is quite amplified. So just notice where that anger is, notice where that resentfulness is, that revengeful energy, that wanting to get back at somebody type energy, or go after somebody, right? Or you might be on the receiving end of it, my friend. And so use some caution here. Let me just say that. Use some caution. And again, on the flip side, you can also use this energy to push yourself forward into that really strong, sustainable expansion. Okay. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is this. So we're going to move this forward, because later this week, we're going to see a shift here. I'm just waiting to get to it. There we go. Mars is going to conjunct Neptune. Okay. And this is on the 21st. So this will be at the end of our week here. Now, with Saturn and with this, aspects to the Uranus Jupiter conjunction, we had a little bit of that, like, right, anger, resentfulness, frustration, that build up type energy. And then when Mars conjuncts Neptune, it's going to soften it. Okay. Yet it is going to take us out of reality, out of the here and now. And so we might feel an energy of wanting to escape, wanting to not deal with, wanting to kind of like go in a little cave. Okay. There is, because when Mars is conjunct Neptune, there is a little bit of paranoia. There can be some disillusion. It's a much softer energy. And so we soften Mars here. It's like Mars gets some nourishment. Okay. So it's been like going. It's like, out. It's like it's been out on the battlefield, and now it's coming home and it's getting taken care of. It's getting supported. It's very sensitive. It can easily get rocked. I want you to think about it. If you've been out, and now it's like you come home and you need some time to process. You need space to process what has been happening. And so with that Mars conjunction, there may be some of that coming up for you where you're trying to process all the things that have just happened. All the things that have just happened, okay? So going on some spiritual trips, and I don't just mean that physically, right? I mean energetically, emotionally, mentally, right? Going on some spiritual journeys, some astral traveling, right? Some deeper past life work, some healing work, energetic work, really time to do that. Definitely want to keep yourself grounded during this period, whatever that is for you. Grounding can look very different for many people. And just be cautious of anything that is going to alter your perception or reality. Drugs, alcohol, this can all be things that like can really, really influence you, and not necessarily in a positive way. All right, let's go to Mercury, because as you know, Mercury has been retrograde. Have you been feeling the effects of Mercury retrograde? I'm about to travel this weekend, so definitely am preparing for any potential travel mishaps, let me just say, because it's what happens, right? So Mercury conjunct the sun is we saw that just come to an end. Okay, it came to an end on the 14th. Oh, let me go back to the 15th here. There we go. So we're seeing Mercury conjunct Venus coming up on the 16th, but we have this Mercury conjunct Chiron. So let me talk about that real quick, because Mercury conjunct Chiron is where Chiron is our deepest wounds. And so we have, because of our wounds, because of our traumas, because of our experiences, we have a unique perspective. We have a filter on how we see the world. And so that unique perspective with this Mercury conjunction, it's as if we're ready to express it. We are wanting to express our views on our healing, on our past experiences, and whether that's writing, that's speaking, conversations with friends, with clients, sharing it on social media. But there's this energy of I'm wanting to express, and in some ways needing to be expressed. Part of this training that I'm taking with this somatic breath work is the idea that the person that is leading this training, their perspective is that there is no such thing as self-help, that healing happens when you're witnessed, right? When somebody is able to witness you, and in that ability, right, to express maybe or process, right, what has happened. And it's in that being witnessed or witnessing where the transformation actually occurs. Interesting perspective. I'm still filling into that. Not quite sure. I can see it. I'm not quite sure if I'm 100% subscribed yet, although I can see I'm probably about 80% there. But it's this idea here of like, right now we're wanting to express that. And I think it's important, right, for us to express it, because if we don't know, right, let me take this on a different step for just a second. Growing up, my love and I both, we were talking about this, never witnessed women traveling solo. It wasn't until I was 32 that we went on a 10-day cruise, and it was an Abraham Hicks cruise, and there were numerous women there traveling on this 10-day cruise from all over the world by themselves. And my perspective, my consciousness was expanded. It was something that was not in my reality because in my world you didn't do that. Right? And no offense to my upbringing, it's just that's just we just didn't do that, right? Nobody in my family really did that. And so although, I think I tried a little bit here and there, but yet, got pulled in by the family. And so we went on this trip this past week for the solar eclipse, and there were numerous single women who had traveled across the country by themselves, and there were older women in their 60s, 70s that were there, actually 50s, 60s, 70s, that were there by themselves. And it just opened up, right? My world opened up even more. And it was almost as if the universe was like, this is right, this is okay. And it's when we are able to see these things, right? When we're able to expand our awareness around, it's like that's possible, right? So it's as if this time with Mercury conjunct Venus is like, and with the North Node in here, right? Because we can see Venus, Mercury, the North Node, and Chiron, all of this energy together. When we share our experience, when we share how we've overcome, we are allowing other people to expand their awareness. So, my friend, share your story, share your unique perspective, whether that's on your modality, whether that's in the work that you do, whether that's in how you are, you might not be a dietitian, but you have some things that have worked for you. You might not be a quote unquote healer, but you've done some healing. You might not be an energy worker, but you've worked with energy. My friend, your unique perspective matters. Share it. All right. Let's talk about this Saturn. This is coming to an end this week, and this is the Saturn sextile Jupiter, which we talked a little bit about with that idea of Mars, but that is coming to an end on the 20th on Saturday. And then the last thing I want to talk about is this Uranus Jupiter conjunction. As you can see, we are getting really close to being conjunct here. We're going to have this all the way through May 23rd. But this, again, this is unexpected energy. This is surge of innovative ideas, hunches, creating a new reality for ourselves. And so we've had a lot of things that have been coming up. And so because we are in this Aries season, I want to bring this in here because we are in this Aries energy of initiation, of trying something new, of taking a new step, of having this blank slate to begin again. So, my friend, use this beautiful, beautiful energy. I just realized I wasn't sharing my screen, but that's okay. Use this beautiful energy to step into that new timeline, to honor the person who you are and who you are becoming. My friend, I have some really beautiful opportunities coming up locally. If you're local to me, if you're in Central Texas, I have some workshops coming up for a series of 4 on embracing the inner goddess within. We've also got the Enlightened Soul Circles. If you have not joined our community over there yet, we've got a couple of things that are happening, especially every single month we have an Ask Your Spirit team where you get to ask questions with the divine, the Akash. We've got a healing every single month, and we've got an intention setting. So come on over there. Those are all free. As of right now, it's a free group that you can come and join. It's called Enlightened Soul Circles. You can go to enlightenedsoulcircles.com/circle. I'll make sure that is down in our description and show notes for you. You can come join us. I do Magic Monday every single Monday where I go live and talk about, I do breath work, and we do an oracle card pull so you can get some message from the divine for the week. All right, my friend, that wraps us up. Oh, and last thing, the guide for Aries is coming out this week. So if you have not downloaded our guide books, they're put out every single season. So we've got the Aries one coming out this week. which will talk all about Aries energy, all about the transits that are happening this month. It's got weekly journal prompts, affirmations, and then a ritual that you can do this season. All right, my friend, this wraps us up. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. Much love and light to you. Let's go ahead and take a nice deep breath in together and release. My friend, and find peace.